Welcome back, and if this is your first time watching, my name is Brandon and I sell men's clothing on eBay. This is day 44 of the What Sold series where I show you my daily eBay sales. I think it's the biggest day of the month, so let's go ahead and jump into the sales. The first sale of the day was this Dixon flannel in a women's size small. It sold in 8 days for a best offer of $31 plus shipping. I paid an average of $27 for all these Dixon flannels, so this one's about break even, but some of the other ones will make over my $10 profit mark, so those will have to cover for some of these break even or ones that even lose some money. So number 2 was a Lululemon sweatshirt in a men's XL. It sold in about 40 days for a best offer of $50 plus shipping. So number 3 was a J. Crew Indian Madras shirt. It sold in 10 days for a full price $25 plus shipping. This is a great item to look out for in a very common brand, J. Crew. There are some very good items that come from J. Crew that actually sell really quickly as well. So it's a good brand to learn because you will find J. Crew items in almost every thrift store. So number 4 was a vintage Wolverine camo shirt. It sold in 1 day for a best offer of $27 plus shipping. I got this in a flea market bundle this month, and I paid probably around $15 for it. So number 5 was a Primal Wear cycling jersey with a gargoyle on the front of it. It sold in about 3 months for a best offer of $17 plus shipping. I don't sell a lot of cycling jerseys, but this one just seemed like it had a unique print on it, so I ended up picking it up, and it sold okay, not the best. So number 6 was a Rain Spooner Elvis Presley shirt. It sold in 18 days for full price $120 plus shipping. I actually already sold this once, maybe a month or so ago, for full price also, but I had it listed at $100, and it sold in 1 day, I think, for $100 plus shipping. So when I got this returned to me, just because it didn't fit the buyer, I ended up listing it for an extra $20 because I thought I probably had it priced probably a little bit low. So I added extra 20 bucks on there, ended up selling again for full price, so hopefully it fits the buyer correctly this time. So number 7 was a pair of Dunning golf pants. They sold in 7 months for a best offer of $14 plus shipping. Sale number 7 was, or actually this is sale number 8. It was a vintage US Navy G1 flight jacket. It sold in 1 day for a best offer of $130 plus shipping. These are great to be looking out for. These vintage flight jackets, you can actually come across them quite frequently. You just need to keep an eye out for them. Maybe get used to some of the tags. Usually they look something like this. They might be made somewhere a little different, but you can usually tell about the age and the style from just the look of them. Sale number 9, 10, 11, and 12, and 13 actually, all went to the same buyer. They're 5 Western shirts. 4 of them are these Plainsman ones that I got from the flea market. I spent about $15 each for them. The buyer asked if he bought all of them, if I would give him a deal. So we ended up settling on $30 for the 4 Plainsman Western shirts and $25 for the Wrangler Rustler Western shirt. So all of them went to him. Like I said, $30 each for these Plainsman ones, and then $25 for this Rustler one. And then I just combined shipping for them as well. So number 14 was a vintage Lion King Disney shirt. It sold in about 3 months for $8 plus shipping. It was a youth one. I think if this was an adult size, it probably would have sold for like 25 or more. I had it listed at 20, but this thing was absolutely destroyed, so yellowed, so I ended up just letting it go. Usually when items have this many flaws, I'm happy to just let them go at a low price just to get them moved out of my store. I don't want my store full of items that have flaws. So number 15 was a pair of vintage Levi's Silver Tab jeans. They were the baggy style, and they took 4 months to sell, and they sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. They didn't have a very long inseam. It was only 29 inches, and it did have some flaws on it, so I'm guessing that's why it took so long to sell, because these are usually somewhat desirable. So number 16 was an All Saints button-up shirt. It did have a spot on the front of it. It sold in 40 days for a best offer of $7 plus shipping. Sale number 17 was an Adidas crewneck sweatshirt in a women's size large. It took about a year and a half to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $8 plus shipping. Once something gets this old, I'm usually sending out offers or trying to accept offers at 50% or even less sometimes. I just want to get these old items moved out of my store. Sale number 18 was a Viola button-down shirt. These Viola shirts are usually a wool blend. They're like not a huge amount of wool, maybe like 20%, but they still sell pretty well. This one sold in 36 days for full price, $30 plus shipping. Sale number 19 was a Peter Millar Mira golf polo. It sold in about 2.5 months for a best offer of $30 plus shipping. This is my second one that I sold this week. I sold another one of them for around the same price about 2 days ago. So Mira Golf is what really carried this and sold it for such a high price. You do want to be looking out for Mira Golf. This is the logo, and their apparel sells really well. So number 20 was a Donald Trump shirt. It was a dress shirt, and it sold in 26 days for a best offer of $4 plus shipping. So this one did have some flaws on it, and when dress shirts have flaws, they're very hard to sell. No one wants to buy a dress shirt that they're going to wear out to a nice occasion that has a stain on it, has a rip in it. They don't want to have flaws on their dress shirts. A lot of other items you can get away with having small flaws. Dress shirts are not one of them. So when they do have flaws for me, I'll either get rid of them and not list them at all if the flaw is bad enough, or I will just sell them as low a price as need to get it moved out of my store fast and be done with it. It's a mistake. If I miss a flaw on a dress shirt, it's almost always a mistake because I'm almost never picking up dress shirts that have flaws. So number 21 was a pair of vintage Billabong shorts in not a great size, a size 28. They took about 4 months to sell, and they sold for a best offer of $15 plus shipping. Vintage Billabong stuff can do really well. These were just a bit worn out, and the size was just really bad. So number 22 was a David Donahue dress shirt in a men's size 16.5. It took 5 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. I think this is my second time selling this. Someone returned it because it didn't fit them. This is the trim fit, so it is very slim fitting. So if they're not used to David Donahue dress shirts, then might not fit them right. Sale number 23 was a vintage CCM LA Kings hockey jersey. It wasn't one of like the thicker, nicer ones. It was one of the thinner ones. It didn't have a fighting strap or anything. It was a pretty basic one, and it did have a little flaw on the shoulder. Anyways, it took 40 days to sell, and it sold for a best offer of $20 plus shipping. That's it for the sales. Let's go ahead and jump into those numbers. On October 14th, we sold 23 items for a total gross sales of $904.54. Like I said earlier in the video, this is my biggest sales day of the month, but I don't have super high highs and super low lows in my eBay business because I am very consistent with my listing and just everything within my business, so it usually keeps it pretty stable. But like I said, this was an above average day, and it was the biggest day of the month so far. And if we take the gross sales and divide it by the total number of items sold, that gives us our average sale price of $39.33. That's a great average sale price. If I could stay there all the time, that would be great. Anyways, the selling costs and the net sales are always inaccurate, so let me show you guys what they really are. The selling costs were $246.97. The breakdown for that is $109.37 in eBay final value fees, $115.30 in shipping labels, and $22.30 in promoted listing fees. 11 of the 23 sales came via promoted listings. I promote all my items at 5%. I'm happy to pay any extra fees that I have to get those sales. If we take away the selling costs and the taxes and fees collected by eBay away from the gross sales amount, that gives us our net sales of $611.66. We still need to take away our cost of goods. I use an average cost of goods, which is currently $11.11. So if we multiply that by 23 items sold, that gives us our total cost of goods for the day of $255.53. Now, if we take away our cost of goods from the net sales, that'll give us our net profit of $356.13 for October 14th. So a great sales day. Like I said, the best of the month so far. Very happy for those sales. And yeah, I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for day 45 of the What Sold series. Peace.